Hey, Jeff here, your YouTube reviewer of New England brews. Welcome back for another beer from the White Birch Brewery of Hooksett, New Hampshire. And it's also another beer from their Apprentice series. One thing I like about White Birch, the brewery's been around just for a short period of time, but the brewmaster and the owner is a real supporter of home brewers and people who want to learn how to get into the business. So he brings out a lot of these apprentice ales on a regular basis, allows these new brewers to come out and try their beer and get it all bottled and get it all distributed and make it available to the general public. Today, this one is the Scottish style wee heavy ale that was put out by an apprentice named Justin Umla. And it is the White Birch Apprentice Series Eorna Ceol Ale. Eorna Ceol Ale. The Eorna Ceol stands for barley music. So this is barley music ale. And it's a Scottish style wee heavy. If you look at the label, White Birch, like all their beers, tells you what's on it. This one was brewed July 2011. And this is from batch number 1. And this is bottle number 1250. The ABV on this is 8.5% alcohol by volume. So, without further ado, I'm going to take this cap off and give it a try. There we go. Bottled on very well. Let's pour it into this glass. Maybe not the right glass for a wee heavy. Actually, quite frankly, I was about to have a stout, so I grabbed this glass. Then instead, I grabbed this wee heavy instead. So, oh well. Whoa, now is there a lot of aroma on this? But first, let's get to the color. You know, it looks like a medium amber, a darker, almost opaque medium amber with a bit of a cloudy, hazy quality to it. Not much of a head, though. And I didn't really do much of an aggressive pour. I gave it sort of a straightforward pour. So not a whole lot of head. And you know, I like to see some head on a beer, and I didn't see much here. But the aroma on this is definitely penetrating my nose. I can really whiff it quite a ways away. And what I'm getting is a good supply of malts. Definitely a lot of malts, a caramel malts, Scottish malts. And it's just really a full malty characteristic on the nose. And I'm not really getting much in the way of hops up front. However, I am getting a sweetness as well, a kind of a sweetness. This has a kind of like a mild barley wine aroma to it. If you can recognize that sort of aroma, it's like a barley wine, but just not quite as much punch. Let's give it a taste. Definitely a lot of malts in here. Oh, for sure, a very malty beer with a powerful kind of hop punch that comes up on the back end. And it's really smooth and creamy. The body is full, a rich, full body, I'd say. You know, a fairly heavy body for the style. But you get a powerful malt flavor in the beginning, and really that's what you get for most of the first instance. And then after a minute or so, after you first swallow it, you then get this kind of hoppiness that comes up from the backside. But it's not a strong one. It's sort of mild and subtle, but it's definitely got that really kind of almost sour hop punch in there. Now, it's my understanding when he was testing this beer, when he was brewing it for the first time, he went through several batches before he got to the one he really liked. And in fact, he said a couple of them came out kind of like sour ales. As a matter of fact, I guess he was using one of the recipes he began with when he was creating this recipe to come up with a new sour ale, which he's no longer an apprentice with White Birch, so I guess my chance to try his sour ale will have to come at a different time. Hopefully it'll be something that's made available through another brewer, or maybe he'll open his own brewery. Who knows what he'll do, but it'd be interesting to try out that sour ale that apparently grew from the creation of this Scottish wee heavy. Because, yeah, for sure, you get this sort of smooth yeastiness in there, this smooth creaminess, which could be attributed to the yeast. And then there is this kind of sour hop bite at the end. And it reminds you a little bit of a milder sour ale, you know, just not quite as tart on the mouth. but the malts are the strongest characteristic, and you know, the hops are just kind of back there a little bit. Now, except for the head, or the lack thereof, you know, you know, when I poured it the first time, it almost looked like an apple cider to me. That's kind of what it looked like, and that's what I was thinking. Oh, this looks like an apple cider, because there was really no fizz or foam or head or anything. And, you know, I mean, I like foamy beers. I like some foam on my beer, but doesn't necessarily take away from the flavor, I don't think. It just makes it look more attractive in my mind. But anyway, this isn't a bad beer. This is an Apprentice Series beer from White Birch, and one that you better hurry up and get, because I'm not sure if it'll be available much longer. I think once the Apprentice Series beers are retired, they are retired for good. So, that's it. This is White Birch Brewing, the Apprentice Series Eorna Ceol Ale, which stands for Barley Music Ale. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you again next time.